Hi everyone, welcome back to some Oxygen Not Included. My name is Zero. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. I certainly appreciate it. We are back on part 2, and to start everything off, we got a blueprint here, and let's see what we got. We got cooking and operating, and we got a tidying and rocketry. So no builder yet. We're still looking for a builder, but I think I am going to take, this person is unconstructive, so they can't even do building, but I think we're going to take them strictly for their cooking ability. So we are going to make that person our cook. We are up to 6 duplicants, which is great. We are going to go over to our printing pod, and we will just give them the ability to start. Operating, we have tier 2, so we're going to click on that one for them. We are trying to get to this mechatronics engineer. We're going to have to go through supplying before we actually get to that, but everything is working out great. We have this water that is pouring off right now into our liquid water reservoir, and we do have this pump that is pumping out that water. Now, our plan for today is to get a better bathroom going. We also want a little bit of a better electronic setup, so a power setup. We want to get a little power grid going, and we also want to get some ranches started. We definitely want to get some ranches going. So let's speed everything back up. It looks like that is doing fine, so we can actually deconstruct those 3 tiles right there, so we can actually get underneath. And ironically, we can, well, let's deconstruct that tile as well. Now, as we're waiting for that to happen, we do want to just continue and allow our duplicants to come across this way. We'll harvest up a couple of those plants. We're going to do some tiles going across there, because I think this is where we're going to make our ranching, all the way up this way. And then there is some brine over here, and I want to see if this is where our salt slush geyser is going to be, because we definitely know that we have one on here. We have a cool salt slush geyser and a cool slush geyser, so we want to find those two somewhere on our planet so that we can start thinking about some water and some permanent oxygen. And we're going to mop all of that up as well. As soon as we mop up that, and as soon as we mop up this, we can get rid of all this. We can start coming back down into the bottom of our base, and we can try and get a little bit of a power grid going. All right, let's deconstruct the rest of these tiles, and let's get back into the bottom of our base. Perfect. We also want to throw in a fire pole, going from the top all the way down to the bottom, just to give them a little bit more. That just allows them to get around the base quicker, so they can get up and down a little bit quicker. Our researching is finished for our grooming station, so we are perfect with that, and we do have our smart battery. We did get that in the background, so we are going to start on our power grid. And as we're doing that, let's get down to here. Let's get the deodorizer and all of that ready to go. Okay, so we are going to switch up our research just a little bit as I was getting the power grid ready to go. I do want this power transformer as well, so we are going to switch it out, and we're going to start researching that up. But as that is happening, we should be okay to get our rock crusher going. We can have our rock crusher right here. And we can get some power going from all of this. We're just going to put it right here, and then we'll actually connect all of this together here. We'll take this pump, and we'll put it on this grid as well. So we want the rock crusher, and the reason that we want the rock crusher is because we do want some refined metal. Now, we don't want to keep using this rock crusher. This does a terrible conversion rate, so you put in 100 kilograms of, let's say, copper ore, and you only get out 50 kilograms back. So if we come up to here, we can see that if we put in 100 kilograms, we're going to get 50 kilograms back and 50 kilograms of sand. So it's only a 50% conversion rate. So we're only going to want something like 20. That'll give us 10 kilograms of refined metal. And with that refined metal, we are going to be using that for the smart battery that we're going to end up putting onto our grid right here. We're also going to need a little bit of automation wires going through there as well. And once we have that set up, it should be good enough for the early game and the power that we want going for it. So here's another instance of the mods that we are using. So one of the mods that we use is this pliers tool, and what it does is actually just disconnect from the actual line itself. You don't have to go and deconstruct anything, and I know that would be maybe consider a little bit of cheating, but you can just honestly deconstruct this tile right here, this copper wire, and it'll have the exact same effect as to what we're doing with it right here. But we do have this pliers mod, the speed mod, and the tiles mod on right now, just to have a little bit more fun in the game, so we don't have to worry about too much. Okay, we have some coal down in here. We're going to look at this storage bin, and we do actually want to throw in coal into this storage bin right here, and we just want to allow our duplicants to bring it down. They will fill that up, so they don't have to run too far whenever they come back and refill up these coal generators. Okay, so we are starting to get our very first refined metal, and we do have enough for a smart battery, so we're going to deconstruct this jumbo battery here, which is unfortunately going to get rid of 40 kilojoules of power, but you know what? For the early game, that is okay. We're going to throw in our jumbo battery. We're going to put in automation wires going to both of them. Alright, so now it's connected to the smart battery, and if we go through here and you click on the output, you can see that it sends a green signal when the battery is less than the low threshold charge. So basically what that means is when it hits this low threshold, it'll tell these coal generators to kick on, and then it'll refill the battery. But now we don't want it going all the way down to 0, because that'll mess with our electrical grid. It'll go all the way down to 0 and then kick back on. So there are times where no power will be getting to our machines. So we're going to bump this up to about 35. So when it hits to 35%, it's going to kick these guys back on, and we'll go up to, let's just say, 95%. It'll kick them off. So if we take a look at what's going on, boom, we can see that it is filled up to the 95%, and our coal generators are disabled by the automation grid. Therefore, we're not wasting all of that coal. It's getting stored in the smart battery. The smart battery is outputting all the power that we need it to our pump down here and to our rock crusher, and we're not wasting all of that coal. So yes, the rock crusher is a little bit inefficient, but I think if you do it early on and you get the smart battery, you hook it up to the automation grid, no problems there. Now, the research station is completed, and what we're going to do is come down to this power transformer that we wanted to get. We're going to throw this on the end here. And once again, we're going to grab up this wire. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a wire right here. And once this is completed, I will show you what this does. Okay. So now our wires are all completed. We're going to come back to our pliers, and we're going to actually undo the wires from these two. Now, we want this wire to be going into the input of our power transformer, and we want it to be coming out. As you can see, the arrows down here, so we're going to come out this way. Now, what this does is, once this gets full, which it just did to 1,000 kilojoules, it's only going to allow 1,000 kilojoules to come out on the power wire. Therefore, there shouldn't be any problems with short-circuiting any of our wires on our actual grid. As long as we're going through this power transformer, which all of our power is going through there and coming out, then the power transformer will stop some buildings if the wires are carrying more than 1,000 kilowatts of power, which is exactly what we want for the early game. We definitely want to regulate our power that is coming out, and because now we are regulating all the power that's coming out, we can take our wire, we can connect those two, and what we want to do is make sure that we get rid of all of this. We actually didn't even convert over to our batteries here, so we're going to disconnect these batteries from the grid, because what could end up happening is this might need to draw in more than 1,000 watts of power. Our grid might need to draw in more than 1,000 watts of power. And because these batteries are hooked up to it and they hold 10 kilojoules of power, they can definitely send 10,000 watts of power. That might actually cause some of these wires to overload, and we just don't want to have to mess with it while it's on the grid. So if we take those off, we don't ever have to worry about it, and now every single thing that is hooked up to power is coming through this one wire right here. Excellent. We do have somebody at the printing pod, so let's click on that. Let's see our blueprints here, and it looks like we have a rocketry and building, yokel, and unpracticed artist. Those two are terrible. Germers isn't too. That's pretty nice. Farming, digging, and supplying, and suit wearing. We have a supplying. We have a good dig. We want to get that second here. They're a loner as well. You know what? I think we're actually going to take this guy, and I think we're going to make him a build 1. We want a dedicated builder, so perfect. The artistry, that's okay, and the yokel, they can't do researching, but we don't want them to do that anyway. If they were dumb or like not smart, they might have a little bit of a harder time skilling up, so we wouldn't want that, but the yokel, that's okay. We can definitely go around that. All right, so we're going to get our dedicated builder. We're going to come up to priorities. We're going to go to build, and we're going to make sure that they are all the way up on building. We are going to click that printing pod again. We're going to go to duplicant skills. We're going to grab build. We're going to go to improve construction. We also have another one for research, so we could do another +2 for our researcher, and supplying right here. That is going to give them another +2 strength, and that is pipe emptying, so they can actually start to empty the pipes. I'll tell you what I don't do, and I got a couple comments on the first game there. I don't actually assign hats to them, so let's just assign some hats. Applied Sciences. I never really do this. Critter ranching. Okay, so we do have a hat for that. Electrical engineer. Perfect. Super hard digging. We love it. How about grilling? And then improved construction. Excellent. We'll give them all the hats. They can wear their hats. And we'll get them going on another research project, which I think we're going to come over to here. We want this incubator for our ranch that we're going to get going. But right now we are getting ready for our plumbing. So our dig is able to get abyssalite. So I do want to come up here just real quick. This is still some brine right here. It's at -9, so it is freezing cold. But I want to see if that cool slush geyser is up here somewhere. Be nice if it was at the top of the base. It's time for them to eat. So we gotta switch up a couple on the schedule as well. We got 3 that are just sitting up there. We're gonna add them to these new schedules here. So let's work on that as they are getting done with eating. In the downtime, we only have them at 2 right now, but we are going to up that to 4 as we start leaving the base a little bit. But because we're just still inside the base, I think everybody's fine. Operating, cooking, and building. So let's go operating, let's go cooking, and let's go building with an extra one for another duplicant if we want them. Perfect. So we are still staggered just fine. I love it. All right, let's continue digging this out. Let's see if we can't... Oh, there it is. Boom. The cool salt slush geyser. Excellent. I knew it was going to be up there. There's some brine here, so... I don't know, they sort of tip it off, but this is excellent. So we got our cool slush geyser. This is where we're going to get our water. This is where we're going to start converting the water over into hydrogen and helium, and that will produce all of the water pretty much we need for our base. We can get off of our oxygen diffusers, which is excellent. We're going to get to that probably next episode. This episode, I do want to finish up on... oh, yay. Okay, all this water is done here, so let's mop this up. We can actually get rid of... Well, I'm going to get rid of that one, but yeah, let's get rid of you. Let's have that come down. And then, excellent. Okay. So now the reason I wanted to do that is because I wanted to actually attach this to here. So we're going to attach this to that, and we're going to come up this way. We're actually going to peel off right there. We can get rid of all that. We can get rid of all that as well. All right, duplicants, get to it. Thank you. We're going with a 2-bathroom system here. I've never gone with a 2. I normally go with a 3, but because we do have sort of an enclosed place here, if it gives us any trouble, we'll immediately get out of our base. We'll come down here. We'll start expanding out this way, and then we'll cool everything down. But right now, let's see if we can get away with 2. Okay, so we have our lavatory in there. They have that built. Excellent. Let's get the rest of it built, and I'll explain as soon as we get it done here. Okay, so for right now, we're putting in the plumbing to get the water into here and to get the water out. Excellent. Do we have any power to that? We don't. Okay, so let's grab some power really quick and let's get that to there. Because then we can start pumping out some of the water and we can start filling up some of these areas up here. And we do want to get them filled before we actually allow them to pee in here. They can't pee in there unless there's clean water. Okay, so the water is coming up here, and this lavatory is ready to go. So what we want to do is let's deconstruct one of these wash basins real quick. Boom. Let's throw in a sink. Excellent. Okay, we can get rid of this bathroom right here. And then this will allow us to build the door that we need right here. Awesome. And then we can start putting in what we need. So give me 2 seconds. Excuse me. Okay, so this is the system that we are looking at right now. So what we want is the polluted water to come out, go into a liquid reservoir, come out, and then get refined by this sieve refinery, come out as clean water, and go right back into the system. Now, I don't know if it's an intended thing or what, but there is a system where if you have polluted... If you have clean water that's coming out, but it has germs in it, it doesn't affect the lavatory or the sink. I know the sink would be a little weird because you would think if you're putting, food poisoning into clean water and then using that to wash your hands, that would negate all of the washing of the hands, but it actually does not hurt you. So, okay, we got the water sieve up and ready to go. We can get rid of this outhouse and we can get rid of this sink. Let's deconstruct these two. Boom. Get you in here. And boom. Medicine, boom, sink. Let's get you in there. We can set you to left. We can set you to left. And as you can see, our duplicants are starting to use it. Excellent. Okay. So what's happening is the water is coming out of here, coming into our liquid reservoir, going into our water sieve. Now, what we're going to do is actually get rid of that and then attach the liquid pipe back up to here. So it's coming out of here and then going into our bathroom system. So it's just a completely closed loop system that we have right now. But the reason that we have this liquid reservoir right here is because our duplicants are going to give off more polluted water than the system intakes. So the polluted water eventually will start to get backed up. And so we want it to back up into this liquid reservoir. And then we're actually, this bathroom system setup is not completed just yet, but for the early game, this is exactly where we want it. We do want to do something with this polluted oxygen, but that's for a future video and again, for future Zero to have to deal with. But for right now, we do have this system set up and ready to go. Now with this water, I want to do something a little special for my duplicant. So I'm going to go to this hydroponic farm tile. And if we take a look at the light overlay, our printing pod actually gives off some light. So we get some light right here, here, and 1, 2, 3. So these 3 and these 2. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to replace those 5 tiles with hydroponic tiles. And then we're going to take the water and we're going to bring it over this way. And we're going to put in bristle blossoms into our system over here, and we're going to put in bristle blossoms for our duplicants to eat. So it has a little bit better of a morale value than meal would, but we're going to allow that to happen. Now, because we do have a cook and we have our system ready to go, one of the other things that we want to do for our food is we want to grab this electric grill. We want to throw it down right here. We want to bring some power into this bad boy, bring it down. Yeah, let's actually go through the whole system, and we're going to have to put in some tiles here. Okay. Let's let our duplicants do that, and that'll allow a cooking station for our cook to start getting his skills up a little bit. It is the printer pod time. Let's see what we got here. We got some copper. What we are looking for is we have a dedicated builder, we have a dedicated digger and supplier. We have a rancher, we have an operator, we have a cook. And so I think we're good. We have a builder? No. Yeah, we have our dedicated builder. So right now, we're actually good. Our 8th duplicant that I'd like to get is a second digger. So I do like to get our 8th duplicant as that second dig, just so 3 loud snores. We're not going to take them. Tidying and cooking, we're good with those 2. Wouldn't be bad to maybe get a couple more tidiers as well. But right now, we're going to go with that refined copper. That's we can always use some refined metal, so we're definitely going to go with that. All right, our hydroponic tiles are in. Let's get our blossom seeds in there. Let's put them in a 7, plant that, and then copy the settings. We're going to copy all of those in there. We should have at least 5, and that's going to be basically for the price of some water, some free bristle blossoms that we're going to get. We don't have to do anything with that light. It doesn't give off any heat, and it doesn't require any electricity. So we are definitely going to use that light to our benefit. I have seen people with the 3 and the 2 system here put in the research station on the left, put in the supercomputer on the right, and so that's their lit workspace is free with a printing pod. But, you know, it doesn't really cost much for the ceiling light, so I like doing this little setup right here. Okay, so we have food. We have more food in here. We have more than enough calories. Meal lice, we probably could put in a little bit more food there. Put it up here. But for right this second, we do have our water. We do have this. Let's get our ranching system going here. So we want 25 tiles. We want it to be right there, which means we're going to have to cut this off just a little bit. We'll put in a tile right there. We're going to have to put in a door over here, and we'll put a tile in right there. Okay. And then we're also going to go to our pneumatic door, and we're going to do it this way. Now, this is not my original setup. I'm not sure who originally came up with this concept, but it is by far the best way of doing this. What you want to do is go to stations. We're going to get a grooming station in here. We want to go to food. We want to do critter drop-off, and then we want 2 critter feeders. We're going to throw in another door, a pneumatic door, and then a mesh tile. So we're going to put in our hatches into this area right here, and the hatches can't jump up 3 tiles. They're just like duplicants. They can jump up 2 tiles. So right here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to put that mesh tile so they can't jump over. They're going to be confined into this little space right here, but because it is open, we are still going to get the benefit of having a 94 tile room. Okay, boom and boom. And then for our critter feeder, what we do want right off the bat is we don't have any smooth. We're gonna switch them over to stone hatchlings, but we do just have normal hatches for right now, and they can eat some sandstone. And because of this new biome right here, because this new biome actually gives us some more sandstone, we don't really have to worry about all of our sandstone being used up by our critters. It actually gives us time. We can continue to come up here, dig all of this stuff out. We get some copper, we get some sulfur, and we don't have to worry about the sandstone. So we're gonna feed our hatch of sandstones. We're going to come off to this critter drop off. We're going to do 8 critters. That's how many you can have in one ranch. And we're going to go to hatch and hatchlings. Now, we're going to come down here to capture critters. We're going to capture them all. See how many we have. I don't know where they are. They're diggers, so they dig into the sand at night. They come out during the day. They come out at night. So right now, because it is the day, they're all going to be buried. We're going to just wrangle some of these bad boys up and see how many we can't get. I don't know how many it's going to be. 5, maybe 6. Let's see what's going on. All right, the first one was delivered here, and as you can see, we go to our room overlay. That is going to be a stable, and that is 96 tiles exactly. That's why we had to put that one up in the corner. And so basically what we're doing here is we're doing a 24 by 4 tile room, but because we're doing 1, 2, 3 tiles that are taken up by the door and our little mesh tile right here, we add another one right in the corner. That'll be 4, and that equals 96. And that is going to be our first stable, and we are just going to continue doing that above and above. Well, actually, it's fine. We'll have our duplicants have to come through here. Now, the only issue that you have to watch out for is these hatchlings. Once they're wild right now, but once they do become tame, they start to go up with their reproduction like crazy. And so we want all of these hatchling eggs. With these hatchling eggs, they actually count as a critter, so you just have to watch them getting into your stable, because if you get over 8 critters, it'll start to stifle them, and we'll come to that if it ever does happen. But for right now, I love our little ranch. We're actually going to cut our base off right here. So we want to get to the bottom of our base. We're actually going to deconstruct all of that, and then the bottom of our base is going to be right along here. No. Stop. Get out of there. I think I said it in the previous episode, but your duplicants will get themselves in situations where they will die, so you just have to watch out for it. Okay, with our oxygen, we can come over here to our carbon skimmer, and we are going to set up a little carbon skimmer. I'm going to go in the bottom rightmost corner of our base. We're going to go right here. We're going to throw it on a carbon skimmer right here, and we're basically going to copy this setup that we just did right here. We're going to have it be its own little setup and its own little system, but we do want to get all this carbon dioxide out of here just to make sure that our duplicants can come down here, don't have to keep running up to breathe and stuff like that. So if we go to refinement and we go to water sieve, we're going to go out and in. So basically what's going to happen is the clean water is going to come out. It's going to go into our system here. The polluted water is going to come out and go into our sieve. That'll be a nice little contained system down here that we can pretty much just set and never have to worry about ever again. Excellent. Okay, so our carbon skimmer, it's going to need a little bit of water to get it primed. And so the way that we're going to do that, I think, have them build out. We'll just siphon some of that off of there. Go right into there. Okay, perfect. Now we can actually get rid of that. There we go. All right, so our system is perfect. And then to get all of this out of here, what we can do is we can actually just stop that. Let's not forget about this, because this will actually take a little bit for the water to drain itself out of here. But I don't want to forget about it because Lord knows I will. But as you can see, all of the carbon dioxide now that gets filtered down this way and over to the left will hit our carbon skimmer. Our carbon skimmer is going to skim it off, and it's its own self-contained system. It'll come up to here, get sieved out, and the regular water will get thrown right back into that system. So again, you should start to see all of this carbon dioxide really going down. The oxalate has burned itself off over there, so we are good to go. Oh, you know what? We have this electric grill over here, and we didn't actually do anything with it, so we do want them doing at least the pickled meal forever. We want the bristleberries to go forever as well, and some barbecue. So if we get all 3 of those, which means if we come up to our consumables, we don't want them eating the meal lice. We want that to wait till it's converted over to pickled meal. We don't want them eating just regular meat. We want to wait till that's converted over into barbecue, and we don't want them eating just regular bristleberry. We want them to eat the cooked bristleberries. So we're going to take all 3 of those off for our duplicants. We are going to see what we want next as far as research goes. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to come up to here. We're going to get this thermo aqua tuner, and we're going to get some radiant pipes, and we're going to get the radiant gas pipes as well. And we're going to start getting ready to convert this water over. So as you can see, the salt slush geyser is going. It's giving off 14-degree temperature water. We have to analyze the geyser to see what the activation period is going to be, but that's okay. We're actually allowing it to just go off and fill up this area right now with some brine. This is going to be a nice little water area. I'm very excited about it. That means we have another printing pod. Let's see if we can't get our second dig to make this go a lot quicker. Nope. We're good. We're actually going to take these Drecklet eggs. Why not? We're going to need some Drecklets for plastic production. So this is where the spaced out part of the game does actually come in. Spaced out gives you smaller asteroids, and so this starting biome doesn't actually have oil on it. And so if we wanted to produce some plastic, we would have to go over to this other planet, and we would start to have to colonize that. Now, there is something called a glossy Drecko. There are Dreckos and glossy Dreckos. It is just a different form of it right here. And these give off plastic, and so we want a glossy Drecko farm on our main asteroid here, just to make sure that we can get some plastic. And the way that we do that is we are going to set up a system ready to go for them. And I think we're going to do that on the next episode. Right now, let's see if there's anything else that we really have to get done for our base. So I just want to show you really quickly that, as you can see, we do have some polluted water backed up into our liquid reservoir, and our liquid reservoir does have polluted water, 64 kilograms, and just a ton of food poisoning germs on it. Now, if we come over to here and we click on this water actually does have a ton of germs on it as well. I don't know how we can actually see that, but the water inside of here does have germs on it. It does not matter. As long as it's just regular water going into your bathroom and toilets, everything there should be good. We can get rid of that, and as you can see, the bristle blossoms take such little water that we've only gotten this one pipe after a couple days and just going at super fast speeds. It still is just taking forever. So your water is going to be fine. Plus, we still have this reservoir of water down here in case we actually need it. We do have some polluted water right next to our base in case we had to convert that over. We're doing just fine with our water. We did find this cool salt slush geyser as well. So I think we are going to end the video right here. On our next video, we're going to be busting out of our area. We're probably going to be maybe going up a little bit more and busting out to the right so we can get to our cool salt slush geyser. But thank you so much for checking out the first 2 videos of our brand new gameplay of Oxygen Not Included. And right now, we do have pretty much the perfect setup going. We have food ready to go for our duplicants. We have 2 sources of food. Why are you... irrigation. Whoa. I know what's going on here. It's because it doesn't have an output. So because okay, what was happening right there is there was only inputs on this system, and so what was happening was all the water was going to these inputs, and then it couldn't actually go past this input because technically, right, this water pipe was inputting to this input right here, so it wouldn't actually go past it, and so only these 3 were getting it. But because we did put the output back onto here, really went through a ton of water after going through over there. But we're just gonna put that back on the system. It does look like it's taking from the bottom and over here at the same exact time, so we're just gonna let it go down naturally like that. And because it's taking on all 5, it should fill up rather quickly. Because this is an output, it'll go the output will go into each one of these inputs and vice versa. So, all right, took care of that little problem right there. We are getting a buildup of polluted oxygen. We do have some food poisoning in that polluted oxygen. Now, that is okay. This polluted water right here is what the issue is. The polluted water actually off-gas into polluted oxygen, and because of that, we do have a little bit of a buildup going on in our base. If we go to our overlay, you can see a little bit of polluted oxygen. We can take care of all that by going to our deodorizer and just naturally taking care of it. If we want to throw one right here, we could do that. But I think I'm just going to let that go for right this second. This isn't really causing too much of an issue. You can't breathe in food poisoning germs. It's only on the food and stuff like that, so that's not really going to hurt us. plus our duplicants once we get rid of the water and the polluted dirt that's down in here that we use for our bathrooms. We won't really have to worry too much about that. And I think our 2-bathroom system is working, as long as we make sure that they stay on schedules and they don't have like 3 or 4 duplicants on the same schedule. I think that'll be okay. But that is going to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. I do appreciate it. And if it did help you, a like and subscribe is always appreciated. Do appreciate everybody who is new to the channel, and thank you so much for checking it out. We do have a little bit of a gas problem, so our oxygen overlay is showing that because all of the carbon dioxide is getting filtered out by our carbon skimmer right here, all of the oxygen is having to push down, and as that does happen, you're going to have these little spaces where it's barely breathable. So this oxygen diffuser should take care of it. If not, we'll put another one in right here, and that will certainly help to pressurize everything in our base. But again, thank you so much for checking out the channel. I certainly hope it helped. Have yourself a great rest of the day. We'll check you out on the next video.